Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be playing in one of my latest favourite tanks inside the game. I know, favourite things change, right? Especially with new vehicles going in, and when you just fancy something a little bit new. Look, the double-barreled tanks inside the game have been at least a little bit controversial. Some people really don't like them, some people love them. I'm in the second bracket. I really enjoy playing these tanks and I don't mind too much playing against them. Sure, it's basically like an auto-reloader with a double-barrel functionality which can fire 2 shots at the same time, but for me, it just provides so much more opportunity to have an impact in the battle. If I can make better decisions by firing double when it's actually the right time to do so, rather than just firing double when I know that maybe I'm going to just fluff the shots and then put my tank out of it, it's another tool in my arsenal. And as somebody who's been playing the game for 10 years now, pretty much, I'm always looking for that new thing, something to be able to keep me interested. Because if you're just playing the same tanks again and again and again, you pretty much learn most of there is, then when you're presented with a new challenge or a new opportunity, it's also exciting for me. And the IS-3-2 at tier 9, I think is actually the best double-barrel tank tier for tier. There's nothing wrong with the IS-2-2 at tier 8. And there's certainly nothing wrong with the Object 703 version 2 at tier 8 premium for everyone who managed to gamble inside loot boxes to be able to get those. However, this thing, available in the tech tree, is kind of sleeper OP. I don't see many people talking about it. I can tell you, with the speed that this thing has, which is incredibly surprising, combined with also, 390 alpha damage, not great on a tier 9 heavy, but when you double that up, 780 and very decent premium rounds. We're not talking about the 340 millimeters of penetration you might get on some of the heat rounds, but 292 millimeters of APCR penetration is not bad. You can make that pretty much work against every vehicle's frontal weak point. And even some of the turrets, for example, against the C-75, we should be able to penetrate. However, when you're firing up at a cupola that's well angled, yeah, it's not going to go in every single time. So really, the IS-3-2 has been one of the tanks that I've been able to be most influential in. I'm not sure if I'm just getting really lucky. I think I've played about 70 games inside this tank, and I'm currently sporting an 80% win ratio. Now, of course, I have every advantage on my main account. I'm using premium consumables, I've got a crew which are incredibly skilled, I guess that's really it. Those are the pay. I'm always dabbing the 2 key when I need to be able to give myself an extra chance to pen. But 80% win solo at tier 9, yeah, that's something I'm pretty happy about. And I think it's just because this tank is the meta. Really, heavy tanks are by far the most influential vehicles inside the game. They've got armor, and some of them have even got speed, like this one. And this one's got 8 degrees of gun depression. It's got very decent view range as well at 380. Like, is there anything that an all-purpose tank like this can't do? Heavy tanks in World of Tanks have kind of surpassed the medium tank, which was looking like it would be the all-round battle vehicle, right? And now the heavy tanks are kind of doing that. They've got the armor, quite a lot of them have got the mobility, they've got everything at their disposal that they need to be able to dominate the battlefield. And that's why heavy tanks, currently, in my opinion, are the strongest class inside the game. But, you know what? Is it a time for heavy tanks to actually have their bit on top? For a while it was tank destroyers, for a while it was medium tanks. Not sure if it's been light tanks. Yeah, probably not unless you're really wanting to try and punish yourself. But it definitely is World of Heavy Tanks at the moment. And that's why it was so interesting when Wargaming pulled out of making their changes to the premium ammunition, where they were going to lower the effective alpha damage of all premium rounds by 20%. Sure, it would have made the game less pay to win, but really it would have just massively buffed all of the tanks that had armor, just like these ones, and then I think that it would have buffed the class, which is already among, if not the most powerful, into just being absolutely godlike. Alright, so this game's actually really close right now. We're playing an encounter on mines. And encounters on mines are always really awkward. It's an important battle to try and take the top of the hill, but you can't just take the top of the hill if your opponents are going to hide inside this little town below on the east. And so right now, I have to give a massive shout out to the Type 4 Heavy on my team. Because look at me, I'm just sitting on top of the hill. I'm just farming some damage on this 252. This is the hero that we needed. Quiet Hunter 13. I really hope this is your name and not just an anonymized name. Drove straight out in front of all of his opponents, made it towards the cap circle, and actually got the cap blocked beautifully. beautiful stuff. I believe getting a Defender medal there by interrupting the IS-22 and now also the Bat Chatillon 12T. A huge shout out to you, Quiet Hunter. And as soon as I see somebody do that inside World of Tanks, you would have seen that I instantly invited that player to a platoon. And I hope they accept. I hope they accept because I would love nothing more than to get a Brothers in Arms medal with such a hero such as Quiet Hunter 13. No, unfortunately, Quiet Hunter hasn't accepted. Oh, until now. There we go. Great. Now we're in a platoon together. He accepted my invite. Quiet Hunter's on 2 kills. I'm on 4. I'm hoping Quiet Hunter picks up 1. And wow, looks like I'm psychic right now. Oh, come on. It's a post-game commentary. I know what's going to happen. I just got to play along with it though, right? Quiet Hunter picks up the kill, so as long as I don't die now, and he doesn't die, and seeing how I'm sitting on 472 hit points, there's a good chance of that, then we're going to pick up a Brothers in Arms medal. And picking up a Brothers in Arms medal with this hero, yeah, that's something that I'd love to do. Alright, so we managed to come around the corner there. We low roll against the Tiger 2, but I wasn't too worried because I had an extra shot if I needed that I could have been able to slam in before he reloaded. But luckily we get a Justice Fire there for 3 damage. Torching the tier 8 German heavy tank and allowing us to pick up our 5th kill. Alright, so you can see that I'm trying to communicate as much as I can with my team. I'm pinging out the map. I'm telling them where they are, saying that the vehicle is inside the bush, the C4 and the C4 area. So I'm just trying to work with my friend now. And using the map and using your F keys is the best way to be able to do that. And oh my word, we've now picked up 9 kills between us. But oh, watch this shot. Charge up the double, charge up the double, charge up the double, and yeah, off with his head with 1,018 damage from an ammo rack. Ooh, yeah, I think you can see why I like these double barrel tanks. And this one, the IS-32, definitely, pound for pound, in my opinion, I'd say one of, if not the best heavy tanks in the game right now. Incredibly dominant. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because the double barrel tanks are going to be good in the hands of a player who's a bit long in the tooth and has played this game a little bit too much. Maybe that's what it comes down to. But honestly, I think for all of you advanced players out there, players who are looking for a little bit of a challenge or looking for something that will be able to match your knowledge of the game. After you've played a few hundred games inside these double barrel vehicles, really the skill cap is so high that it'll feel hard to go back to your traditional heavies. So unsurprisingly, this was an ace tanker, and boy, what an ace tanker. 1,716 base experience in a tier 9 tank. I must say a massive shout out to Quiet Hunter though for valiantly defending the cap circle, and we would have lost this game and this wouldn't have been an ace tanker without you, buddy, so thank you so much. And thank you for accepting the platoon invite so we could get a Brothers in Arms together. Still why I absolutely love playing multiplayer games in general, and yeah, especially when it happens in World of Tanks. There's nothing quite like making an unexpected friend inside the game and coming through the battle on top together. In addition to this, we get a Confederate medal and a Top Gun. That's where you know that you've had a really big impact. A Confederate medal meaning that you've damaged 6 tanks which have subsequently been destroyed by your allies, and the Top Gun for killing 6 tanks yourself, meaning that we damaged at least 12 tanks here, in addition to smashing a high caliber for the 7,756 damage. And really, while this is definitely probably my best game that I've had so far in the IS-32, these games are not too uncommon, which is why it's surprising me that the IS-32's win ratio is not better. Now, I'm not saying that 52% average win ratio on the European server isn't good. That's definitely great. Not as great as the AMX MLE 51, but I really expected this to be higher. And maybe it comes down to that skill cap, that skill ceiling that I was talking about with the double barrel vehicles. That for every player who's using the new game mechanic correctly, there's somebody who's not. But all in all, I thoroughly recommend this tank because really, yeah, it's tough to kind of scratch that itch after you've been pulling off those 800 damage bombs, right? Anyway, ladies and gents, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching this video as it's released on Sunday, it's time for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Showcase right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week, a lot of you have voted for the Leopard 1. However, I just showcased that literally 2 weeks ago. I understand it's top of the tree, but I'm not going to be showcasing it again so quickly. So this week, I'm going to be featuring the Object 277, possibly the best starting tier 10 heavy tank inside the game, and definitely one of the most popular. Now it leads on from the T10, which is the all-purpose aggressive heavy meta. So come along right now as I start at tier 1 and work my way up to tier 10 so you can see if the 277 is a line that's worth grinding, or alternatively, if you already have the tanks, maybe you can pick a few tips and tricks up along the way. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.